Hey, hey, hey! I'm so grateful you're here and truly appreciate the gift of your time. I'm Jolene Staker, like a stake in the ground, not the one you eat. And yes, I know there's a song with my name in it. I'm so excited to share this chapter of Project 55 with you. The full story behind Project 55 is in my launch video, which I'll link below. Here's a quick recap. I launched my channel on my 55th birthday. Over the last 5 years or so, I've spent a lot of time reading, studying, and exploring books and the reading experience. Project 55 is my way of bringing all of that together to build a library of bite-sized pizzas that are quick to watch now and easy to find later. And because I can be a number nerd, I chose to go all in on number 55. There will be 55 video chapters, each between 5 and 11 minutes long, because of course 5 times 11 is 55. Each chapter explores a different aspect of the book experience. Whether you're a lifelong reader or just beginning your reading journey, I hope you'll find ideas, tools, and conversations that help you enjoy books in new ways. Let's get into today's chapter. Booktube has given me more than I could fit into one video, but there are 3 gifts I especially want to share. The first gift may sound a little strange. Hope? I had heard statistics, which I'm not even going to try to quote, that made me think only a small percentage of people were still reading. As someone who has played with writing a book, that left me wondering if reading was dying. Booktube showed me that while not everyone may be reading, some people are reading a lot. The second gift cracks me up a little, because I would not have thought I needed any help talking about anything. But then, we don't know what we don't know sometimes. I didn't know people talk so much about books, especially fiction. I had so many new terms coming at me that I started a list. Some describe the reading experience like mood reading. To me, that simply meant I was either in the mood to read or I wasn't. I still haven't completely figured out how to know what I'm in the mood to read or how that will work into my reading strategy. Others described the structure of the book or story. Dual timeline and duology were 2 terms I kept confusing much longer than I want to admit. Hearing people talk about books taught me more than years in the Christian writing group I attended. Turns out understanding reading may actually be the key to unlocking my writing. While I want to be careful how much of my life I live online, Booktube is one area where interacting with people based on shared interest rather than proximity really pays dividends for me. Not only can I see what others are reading and share what I'm reading, I can join a reading challenge and talk about my experience. Many are so welcoming that reading just one book makes me part of the fun. If I want an extra push, there are book competitions where teams earn points and someone wins. If I want to go on a book hunt with someone, it's there. If I want to share in the joy of someone adding more books to their library, also there. Need encouragement to read? People host book sprints so that we can read together. I don't actually use these a whole lot, but I do find them fascinating. Want to go back to school tuition free and without anyone assigning my homework? It's on there. I can join DIY degree planning and discussions. The best part is I never knew I needed any of this until I found BookTube. Next, I want to share 11 booktubers who are an important part of my experience in the community. The first 2 get a special shout out because I've been a member of their Patreons almost since the beginning of my BookTube journey. I can't remember who I found out about first, so I'm just going to share them in alphabetical order. Chantel Reads All Day does so much more than this, but I picked one video from each booktuber to highlight, and this is the one that has influenced me the most. I am fascinated by the DIY degree concept. I don't know if Chantel was the first to do it, but she was the first person I knew of, and now I've seen so many others follow suit. Krista from Books and Jams also does so many things I love, but she introduced me to the world of middle grade books. I had no idea adults read children's books if they either didn't have children or weren't reading them to their children. I especially love her collaboration videos because instead of getting recommendations from just one person, I hear from a whole group of different readers. When I discovered a book olive, BookTube took a turn for me. I resonated with Chantel and Krista because we had similar taste. But I couldn't stop listening to Olive talk about books, even though our reading taste rarely overlap. I picked one of her topic videos because I learned so much from it. But what really stands out is how often I listened to her talk about books I hadn't read and probably never would. Shelley gives me a chance to hear book discussions from a librarian's perspective. It tickles me when our learning paths overlap because I would think her profession would give her an obvious head start. That encourages me to believe I have something to add to the community too, because her discussions come from a place of learning rather than simply being the expert in the room. The next two booktubers, Beth's Bookish Reviews and Chris Fassey, co-host an event called Heir of September that introduced me to Jane Eyre. At that point, I couldn't have told you the difference between Jane Austen and Jane Eyre. I just knew they were both old. It was hard for me to get into at first, and it took a movie and an audiobook to get me there. But I ended up falling in love with Jane Eyre, the character. Now, reading and annotating the book is on my book bucket list. In Search of Wonder hosts the Prairie Trail Readathon, which I enjoyed immensely last year. She does so much more, but if all she did was this one readathon, I would want her on BookTube forever. Carolyn Marie Reads has been a huge motivator for me to explore classic literature. She is also so chill that I can watch just about any of her videos when I want to relax. Danny Dabbles runs the Battle of the Booktubers contest, which is absolutely some of the most impressive reading content I've watched. The contestants recommend books for one another, but no one knows who recommended which book until the end. The winner is the person whose recommendations receive the highest ratings. The contest itself was fun, but what I got most from it was hearing the thought process behind each recommendation and then listening to the readers share their experience with the books. Leandra, the TBR0, was one of the contestants on Battle of the Booktubers, and I watched enough of her content to realize we had little, if any, overlap in our reading taste. Her delivery style is so delightful that sometimes I watch her just to de-stress and feel a little better about the world. When I decided I wanted to create a DIY biblical studies degree, I went looking to see if anyone else had the same idea. That's how I found Rainey Reads. I love hearing about her DIY theology degree and get inspiration for how to approach my own. This is just a small sample of the many booktubers creating amazing content, and as I make more videos, I'll share more of the people who have contributed to my journey. For now, I hope I've shown you why BookTube has given me so much more than book recommendations. I'm beyond grateful I stumbled into this little corner of the internet. And that's a wrap on this chapter of Project 55. See you in the next one.